I just needed a chapter. So last time we were here, which was 2 weeks ago, which was crazy, man. It was 2 weeks ago. We had 2 chapters to read. I don't remember everything specifically like in order, but the things that I'm rattling off that I do remember is that Goryo has stepped up, right, with Dokja, and we got to learn more about Goryo's top swordsman, about his backstory. Now, you guys tell me, I forgot what his name actually is. Goryo is the person that he was under, like was his retainer, I want to say, who he fought under initially. I forget his name. Jongyang Chiak, thank you. And we learned about his backstory and how he was he had the same thing that's going on with Dokja, with someone pulling like fate, using fate on him. The same thing happened to him, but not to the extent that it's happening to Dokja right now. Dokja had 3 separate nebula use fate, and he only had 1, and he was helped out by it's the Korean Peninsula, but I'm forgetting the main nebula that helped him. Damn it, it's on the tip of my tongue. And they helped him out of that situation. And then we got that backstory, and it relayed to Hongi, thank you. And it related back to him talking to Founder's mother, saying why are you choosing to do this? Why are you going through with this? Why aren't you reaching out to Hongi for this? And it was getting to see all of that, and then him realizing the situation Dokja's in, and gaining even more so of his support and more of his respect, and him being you know what, I got you, and we're jumping up and we're going crazy, we doing slashes. So things are going crazy. We got Dokja cutting mountains, right? Cutting through mountains, going crazy. He actually sliced the outer world god, but still, I don't know how we get out of this. But I'm excited nonetheless. So let's hop in. We got 2 chapters. We got 203. That looks sick. We got 203 and 204. This is so sick. I'm gonna use this for the thumbnail. I'm using this for the thumbnail. Here we go. That looks crazy. All right, we're here. We're back. 203. Chapter 30. I love how they did this. How they staggered it. Reading again. He's clutching that arm. The Probability Storm, Part 10. Yes. Constellation, Goryo's top swordsman, has fixed his gaze on you. Excuse me. You're much weaker than I expected. Since you became a constellation, I thought you could manage this much power. Dokja's just come on, bro. It's just that you're ridiculously strong. Oh, snap. Look at his hand. How much longer will I be able to fight with my arm like this? There's a specific child. Right? There's a specific child. If you take his classes, if you take that boy's classes, you go further beyond Dokja. If you take his class, you'll go further beyond. Trust me, he'll make them purple fingers black. He'll get the most out of, that arm. For real. Oh, what's happening? Whoa. Jongyang Chiak is much too powerful. I don't know how to pronounce Korean names. Forgive me. for my body to handle. He's so cool looking, man. It's still alive. But it's still alive. This is a first. But it looks like it'll take more than 3 swings to beat that thing. There's more after that? Well, I never actually had to go that far before. But looking at the state you're in, I'm afraid that you might not even last long enough for the third swing. We're on swing 2. Remember that. How about we try to talk to that thing? Talk to that thing? There's no way that'd work. But it's still a god, isn't it? We could... If you're thinking of saving your mother's life, you should forget about it. That thing even devoured the founder's mother's shadow. Your mother's soul would already be in pieces by now. I don't think that's happened yet. Otherworld gods really don't feed on things the same way that we do. He's looking at him like, how do you know that? You sound like you know that otherworld god very well. There's no doubt about it. 12 gigantic tentacles and a body that is obscured by a thick fog. That thing is the very otherworld god that Jungyak fought in his 136th round. Is this the highest numbered round that we heard of in the series so far? I'm asking you guys because I don't remember. I don't remember. Is this is the highest numbered round that's been stated, correct? Because I feel like 40 something was the highest I remember. So this is the highest. Okay. Dude, how could you even have a consciousness at like 136 times? See, this is like, it's different. A random tangent. But for like, whenever I think of like Groundhog's Day, I'll put it that way. When you live the same day over and over and over and over and over. I would assume after a certain amount of times of living the same day over and over and doing different things, but the outcome never goes your way, it would be terrible. But for Jungyak, it's that same thing but amplified, because it's not like, oh, I'm running through the same day, right? It's not that. He's living it. Well, it just depends on how long he lives, but one round, I don't know how long it could be, but it probably could be a long time. Like, imagine if you were like, you got this, like playing a game, you got mad far. Perfect example is a roguelite. You play in a roguelite, you get mad far, and then you die and you got to start all over again. I can imagine living through 3 years worth of a round, and then I die and I come back and I'm at the beginning again. Bro, better than me. I got a couple in me. I got a couple in me, especially if I'm progressing far every time. That's insane. All right, continue. So he's doing damage. He's cutting. That's coming. Woo. Okay, he's using his the transcendence. Okay. He reminds me of myself during my prime. With talent like that, he might even end up catching up to me in no time. He's the main character. Dokja. That thing is called the Eater of Dreams. I faced him in one of my past lives. If that thing swallows you, you'll become imprisoned in its inner dimension and be milked for stories for the rest of your life. That sounds terrible. Gosh, that sounds bad. Make sure not to even go near that thing's mouth. The Eater of Dreams isn't as powerful as a god like the Restart. The Eater of Dreams isn't as powerful as a god like the Great Old One, but is still a cosmic god. Even the constellations of Earth won't be able to defeat that thing unless they all band together. That's insane. All of the constellations? Like all of them from Earth? There's a bajillion constellations on Earth. I'm hyperbole. There's a gajillion constellations on Earth, and all of them would have to band together to beat this thing? Where this situation just gets worse and worse. I was living in delusions, thinking like, oh, they'll be fine. No. Goodness, man. Whoa. Whoa. We see an eye. That's creepy, bro. I need it. I need this panel. I need this panel. Whoa, that's creepy. Hey, it's me. Hey, it's me. What just happened? I closed it? Oh, gosh. Oh, man, I'm messing up. My bad. Hold on. I gotta move this over. Rename this. Sorry. All right. My bad. Here we go. If it completes its dissension, even I won't be able to do anything about it. We must strike now. Whoa. Oh, are we gearing up for the third swing? All this probability thing ever does is get in my way. Seeing how this is the amount of probability that I was granted, even when an otherworld god is being summoned, it's got to be irritating. It's like, come on, bro. The cards are stacked against me. You need to let up. That's probably what's happening. What he's saying. Someone here must already be using all the probability that was allotted to us. We have no other choice. Use your third swing style. Gosh. But it could even result in annihilating your very existence. But it's the only chance we've got. Say no more. Say no more. Junghyuk, I really need you to cooperate this time around. Oh, chug. Here we go. Dokja! Damn it, the probability storm hasn't ended yet. Constellation, god of naval warfare, has fixed his gaze on you. Oh, okay. What? It became a little easier to breathe. Okay, I love this. I gotta come back and get this one. It became a little easier to breathe. Did he lend me his probability knowing that doing this could make a powerful nebula his enemy? Yeah. The Great Admiral. Some even say that it should have been you. That it should have been you that became a fabled constellation instead of me. Constellation, god of naval warfare, lightly nods his head. Fine, we'll talk about that some other day. Okay. But more importantly, isn't there anyone else? Aren't there any constellations other than him who is courageous enough to face that cursed thing we call a god? Look at his plea. The constellations of the Korean Peninsula quietly murmur in response to Goryo's top swordsman's challenge. Oh? She won Min? She's still alive? Lady of the Sleeping Brocade has fixed her gaze upon you. The constellations of Scylla have begun to share the burden of probability you're under. Okay. Nebula Veda is enraged by Lady of the Sleeping Brocade's action. Falls into a deep sleep from having spent too much probability. Constellations fall asleep only when they suffer a huge loss of some kind. Really? Bald Army General fixes his gaze on you despite his hesitation. Okay? One-eyed Maitreya has fixed his gaze on you with his eyes half closed. Great King of Hyungnu fixes his gaze on you while cussing his heart out. Joseon's top spiritualist sighs and fixes his gaze on you. All of the probability. The storm seems to have stopped completely. All of the probability is starting to gather in one place. Nebula Olympus has declared God of Naval Warfare as their enemy. Papyrus is violently enraged by what the constellations of the Korean Peninsula did. The entire peninsula because of me? But Goryo's living for this. He's living for it. I know I'm always critical of this country, but this is why I can't really hate this damned country. We didn't need this many, but they've joined in like madmen. Third swing it up, baby. Third swing it up. It seems we've finished making the necessary preparations. Keep yourself on the move while I gather my strength. We need to make it let its guard down. I can feel his power building up. It's even bigger than the power I felt during the first two swings. So what do we have? What is Junghyuk doing? Is he just playing defense right now for us? I'll try to stall that thing for as long as I can. He's playing defense for us. He's playing defense. Giant body transformation. Yeah. Here we go. So cool, bro. It's so cool. I just love the fact that these two are the opposites of each other. One wears black, one wears white. One goes tiny and gets a ton of power. One gets big and gets a ton of power. I love it. I love it. I love it. There's so many more similarities, but I don't feel like spitting them out. There's just I just love it. All right. They say if this thing touches down, it's over. Woof. Woo. Right down. Ooh, right down the middle. Goodness gracious. God. I can't. We're not stopping. We're not stopping. No way. We're not stopping. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop. Hold on. Update this. Oh. Can't stop. We continue it. Junghyuk's pushing. Dokja's on the move. Damn it. I don't think this body will be able to handle this. This is all we can do, even with all the probability we received from the others. So do you have any plans? We'll try the 3-swing style first and pray that it tires him out and makes him go back. Didn't you promise to protect me? Did you promise? I'll do that. I swore on my name that I'd do that. my guy. But you seem to be leaving everything to luck despite being the strongest warrior in all of the Korean peninsula. I know the demon of the horizon. What's the demon of the horizon? Is that something I'm supposed to know? If it is, let me continue. Jungyoung Chiak knows the demon of the horizon? Dude, go off, my king. I'll ask him to send you to another world. The demon of the horizon. I know the demon of the horizon. I'll ask him to send you to another world. The 9th scenario does not have a time limit or a set boundary, so you'll be able to survive if you escape to a different location. Of course, you'll have to manage on your own after that. What kind of a demon is he to have such a power? He's more of a god than a demon. That's all you need to know. So to save Dokja's life, we're gonna isekai him? You'd be better off not running into him ever. The demon of the horizon. He's the one who sent you Sung of the 41st round to this world. He is also the one who supplies the Dokkaebi with disasters. How does he know him? I'm asking the same thing Dokja's asking. How? Would it be possible to have the others escape in the same way as well? Probability won't allow us to transport that many people. But the people who are left behind will die. Just focus on keeping yourself alive for now. I think I have an idea. Idea? What idea? Stop spewing nonsense and focus. I'm sure that you're well aware that it's impossible for us to kill him with the 3-swing style. What? I don't mean to offend you. I'm just suggesting that we think about this in realistic terms. If you agree to help, we might be able to kill the other world god. What are you up to? There's too much going on in between his ears. Gosh, it's too much happening. Something you can't eat. Chapter 34 moved on to another chapter. Bro, Jungyoung is doing his best Vegeta right now. He's doing his best Vegeta. He's going crazy. It's going crazy. That hurt. That hurt. Now's our chance. Charge! Electrification. Do whatever you can to injure him. And throw me inside. What do you mean? What do you mean throw you inside of him? Didn't he just get finished saying that if you go in him, you're gonna get devoured and then be tortured and drained for stories for the rest of your life? Didn't we just go through that? He just said that. So we're just gonna... It reminds me of a certain Madlad. I will die. I will definitely die if I fight that thing. I love this panel. I love this panel. I love this panel. Whoa. I'm not going to remember to get this one. I'm not. I love this panel. I really do. I really love that panel. Wow. No matter what I do, there's no way to beat that thing. Foolish constellation. Yes. I've taken quite a liking to you. So try not to get yourself killed. Oh my. It's wallpaper worthy. That's wallpaper worthy. Continuing. Goodness gracious. This swing was thought up so I could fight the ocean. Oh my God. Dog, I can't save everything. I can't save everything. I can't save everything, bro. No, I can't save everything. What's happening? It's one of the coolest. This is legit one of the cool. I can't save everything, bro. Oh my gosh. Like, what is going on? Come, otherworld god. I, Jung Young Chiak, look at him. Look at him! Will cut you down. The third sword. Did it cut through? Ocean splitting third slash. Oh my, it cut through. Oh my goodness. Bro, Dokja's arm is just going to fall off holding the sword. That's what's going to happen. He's going to land wherever he lands and the arm's just going to fall right off the socket. I'm so glad that electrification is a thing. I'm so glad it's a thing. I'm so glad that it wasn't just a one-off. I'm glad that it's something that has become just a part of what we do, because it looks so cool. It's like the funny thing to remember about this is like he's like this big. Right? He's like this big or something like that. He's bite size. He fits in the palm of your hand. He's so tiny. And he's doing stuff like this. That's what's crazy. He's so tiny. I'm glad that it's OP. I'm glad that so far, like, it feels like whenever you get like a new ability, it's like the same, it's the same like thing that is relatable whenever like the villain becomes a good guy and he's on your side now and he feels weaker. And it's just like, no, we get electrification, it's busted, it's plus it like goes over the level cap, and it's every time he's used it, it feels, you know what it feels like? Perfect comparison. If you're a pro wrestling fan, it feels like electrification feels like a over wrestler's finisher. Like nowadays, people let their finishers be kicked out of, but there's some wrestlers that still hold their finisher as like a prized possession, and when it lands, that's it. You don't kick out from it, because what's the point of calling it your finisher if someone's going to kick out of it all the time? Electrification feels like the finisher because it has, I'm not counting the last time he used it because he was going to use it against his mom, but things happened and he didn't go crazy. But every time he's used it since we've gotten it, he's killed with it. It's ended the situation. He's used electrification. Whatever he was fighting, whenever you use it, dies. So it feels powerful because it is powerful. And when it comes out, you know things are real and you know the job is going to get done. Bro, he cut all the tendrils off of an outer god. Has a thing yelling and screaming. Gosh, man. These two chapters were great. This whole conflict that's going on right now is crazy. That's not even mentioning the fact that Jungyoung Chiok is telling Dokja. He's basically telling Dokja the same thing that his mom was telling him, where it's just like, dude, like the ninth scenario doesn't have a time limit, meaning we can stay here for as long as we need to. So if we need to stay here for a prolonged period of time in order to resolve the situation, we can. And it's basically telling him, like, you can't move past this point. We need to do everything to get you around this so you don't end up dying. Same thing that his mom was doing, right? His mom was like, I can't let you leave here, and tried to like seal him away as she tried to figure other things out. And he's like, I'm going to ask the demon of the horizon. That's the name. Does isekai, basically Dokja's going to get isekai. That's what he's saying. I'm going to have him send you somewhere else. Now, when he says, I'm going to send you to another world, the question that I asked myself, but then I like shut my brain up, is, are we going to do what the catastrophe of questions did? Like go to a completely different planet in the universe? Or are we going to like do some weird time shenanigans like you sung and end up in a completely different round in another timeline? And if we do that, then what does that mean for us? Because we're not in our original timeline. Like what happened? Like now Ah! I don't know. Like, what is gonna happen? What does this mean if we actually do end up leaving? Like, what? It regresses backwards. It'd be like the most around. Like, part of me is, so it's like Yusung got taken from the 41st round and dumped as the catastrophe of floods in the 3rd round. So Dokja right now is currently in Junghyuk's 3rd round. And what if he gets like displaced and put in the 17th round or the 199th round or some obscure number, or he just gets sent. I don't even know. Like, how does this even work? Because oh man, my brain, I can't do it. I can't do it. But our companions, though, it's like, I don't even know what that means for them. Like, what, like, all right, so we, like, I'm at a loss for words. I don't know where my brain's going from here. Yeah, that's the thing. The option means that only Dokja gets to live, so he would basically get a taste. We're doing Rick and Morty. That's what's happening. If we never, I would assume that Dokja would eventually want to come back to his own timeline. I would assume that. But are we pulling like a Rick and Morty where their timeline gets scuffed, so they go to a timeline that is near identical to theirs, off themselves, and then take their own place? Like, is it like we're just gonna go somewhere else that's like kind of similar, maybe different, and live? And I don't know what that means though. What about our timeline? So would Dokja go to another real world or TWSA? I don't know. I don't know how to even digest this. I don't know how to digest it, how to think about it at all. I'm struggling. Would there be another Dokja? I don't know. I have no idea. This is insane. I never thought about Dokja ever getting isekai'd. I never thought about him going to a completely another world, timeline or whatever. Crazy. I have a theory of what Dokja's trying to do by getting eating. What if he's trying to have a soul battle like he did with Nirvana? Maybe he's like the 4th wall. You haven't let me down yet. Let's see if we could challenge an outer god. I don't know. Since Junghyuk can regress and hold his memories, would he know? I don't know. You see, that's a good question. I have no idea. But that's definitely something that we can broach, because all right, so in TWSA, Junghyuk would have went through all of his regressions, right? And it would be the same individual going through all of those different rounds. So whenever I'm trying to put this in a way where I'm understanding it. It might not make sense to y'all, but if I can get it, I'll be able to understand. So Junghyuk would have went through each round, retaining all of his memories from every single round. So let's say that, using Yusung as an example of her coming from the 41st round, Junghyuk's 41st round, and coming back as the catastrophe of floods in the 3rd round. She, if I'm understanding correctly, is from our world, like from our time. I don't even know if timeline is the correct word to be using. She is from, like, if this Junghyuk were to continue to regress until he got to the 41st round, we would have met that one that came back to us. So it's like the same timeline. That's how I understood that to be. It's the same individual that Jungyak is encountering. So it's like our Jungyak regresses and regresses until he gets there, and she comes back and meets that Jungyak that eventually regressed. So it's that time. It's not like it's another timeline from another Jungyak from this parallel world that popped over. It's in our own feedback loop. That's how I understand it. That's how I'm understanding it. I could be totally wrong. I could totally be wrong, but that's how I'm understanding it. It's this, like, it's our same feedback loop of and Jungyak is our scale going through every round, and it's the same. And it's this, we're here. So if that is the case, how I'm understanding that, and what Jungyoung Chiak is saying to Dokja, and it's similar to what Yu Sung did, that means that Dokja would be leaving the third round, possibly being moved to a completely different round, either forward or backward. And if that is the case, and it's the same thing as Yu Sung, would our Jungyak, after having regressed, upon seeing a Dokja, be like, you're my Dokja? You know what I, like, especially if Dokja leaves and goes forward, and the added thing that would even make this as a cherry on top, because we always have this question, is if Jungyak regresses, would Dokja regress with him? Would he cease to exist? What happens to him? And we don't know. So if Dokja just gets plucked out of the timeline and time continues without him, and Jungyak being time, and he gets dropped back in, let's say, for example, or for hypotheticals, this is the third round, we have our Dokja, right? We have our Dokja. Dokja gets plucked out, completely removed. Jungyak goes for as long as he can't go anymore, he regresses, right? And he goes on continuing, but he's different, right? Because he had the interaction with Dokja. But let's just say when he regresses, there is no Dokja in any of his other regressions, right? Let's say there is no Dokja. Like, if he regresses to the fourth round, there's no Dokja there, because our Dokja is a unique circumstance that's completely unique. And I'm using him like isekais do their main characters, where you have like even the highest of the highest gods in isekai universes that have no idea why this individual is from a completely different universe that they can't even comprehend either. They're just random. Something random happened to them. Let's say that there is no Dokja every time Jungyak regresses, and let's say Dokja gets plopped in round 300, and then all of a sudden Jungyak, jaded as all hell, meets Dokja, and he's different, right? He's different. He is the jaded individual that Dokja knows him to be in deep in TWSA. What do we do then? How does the story go then? Like, what does that Jungyak go through after having hope, losing hope, gaining hope back, and then Jungyak being like, at that point I can only assume Jungyak is like, we have to find a way to give you back. I don't know. Oh, the kitchen is burning. I have no idea. The discussion you're having is the exact reason why Dokja can't afford to have Jungyak dying, because if the same timeline, yeah, that's right, but it's different timeline for Dokja. Like, what happens? Like, if he were, I don't know. Like, would he still be bound by Jungyak's regressing if he's plucked from the timeline, Or is he completely separated now? I don't know. How many other constellations are there that aren't on Earth besides the Lovecraftian horrors? I don't know. You're asking a good question. I'm going to kickstart next global warning. It's entirely plausible. Dokja has the fourth wall to protect him from any soul or mental stuff, so I actually think he'll be fine. That's a good point. Dokja can pull a Nirvana and just follow him through reincarnation. That's a great point. Yeah, it's a great point. Just bookmark Nirvana. That's a great point. But can the fourth wall protect Dokja from the very act of regressing itself? Will he even have the fourth wall? I think he'll have the fourth wall, because if my brain is cooking, I'm assuming that my assumption is that Dokja receiving TWSA to be able to read from essentially possibly the author means that there is an individual that is above everything, above the constellations, above the plausibility, above the star stream, that is working with Dokja. That's what I'm going with. I don't think I ever said that out loud, but that's what I'm going with now, is that there's something that is outside of all of this that is specifically helping him. Why? I don't know, but specifically is helping him. So I don't even know where to go with that. If Dokja does bookmark Jung-Yang and he also has regression, what happens if there are two regressors and one dies? I don't know. Right? You guys are gonna make my brain split in half for real, for real. I'm already pushing my brain to the limit. I'm already pushing my brain to the limit of plucking Dokja out of the timeline, because it's something I honestly, it's something I never thought. It's something I never thought about until Jung-Yang Chiak brought it up. It's not anything I ever thought about. Him actually being plucked out of the timeline. And as we sit here, if that does happen, with the fates, like all those fates being applied to him, it's the only thing that would work. It's the only thing that would work. I would like to say this, but Dokja would just go to a different world, like how Peaceland and the Demon World are different worlds from Earth. The timeline stuff is you way overthinking this. Would it? I don't know. Like, I would agree with you if they used Peaceland as an example. But they used Yusung as an example. And Yusung came from the 41st round back to the 3rd round. And we had the whole thing of, like, if they interact and all this. So it's like they used that example. So that's what I'm rolling with. If they would have been like, oh, like Peaceland, I would have been like, oh, it's like Peaceland. Or if it's like this, oh, it's like this. Only reason why I'm going this big brain way is because they use Yusung as the example. Like, this is similar to the 40, like Yusung being brought here. And I don't look at Yusung's situation as her being put in another world, because it's our same Yusung, just from it's all this weird. This series is so it makes my brain hurt. It's the same girl, but from like a different reality. I don't know. Chosen an example that was Dokja saying he was responsible for it. Still, I would use that as an example, because there would be, I don't know. I just feel like using her as the, oh, he's responsible for that, and then talking about, I don't know. It feels like that should be. I feel like that would be, you use that in that situation from a writing standpoint if it's going to be similar to that. I don't know. To me, it feels misleading if it wasn't going to be something similar along those lines. That's how I'm thinking. How I'm talking about is that even if this being takes Dokja out of this world / dimension, it would not be for free. Right. This demon of the horizon will for sure ask something out of Dokja in return. Yes. What could we offer? I don't know, something insane. Regardless, in some effed up scenario in the future, all this stuff might happen way later. Yeah. Yes. Like we're in an it feels like we're in an unwinnable situation. Like it feels like we are just about to exhaust everything that we possibly can do before having to accept dying. And everyone is trying to fight against that from happening. Because it's just like, all right, if you die, this all ends. But Dokja doesn't want to die. Nobody else wants Dokja to die. So it's like, what can we do? And we're working on a time limit. If this thing touches down, it's all over. So we're dealing damage just to buy ourselves more time so that we can come up with a plan to possibly get around this. I don't know. And it's just, part of me is like, Peaceland had the same unwinnable vibe. It did, but then you had something like Kyrios in your back pocket. And the series is doing a great job of being like, there is no Kyrios in our back pocket. Like that, I think that's what they're doing a good job. They keep reiterating that there is no ace in the hole. There is no ace in the hole. There isn't. We can't rely on something like that in this situation. We are screwed. And it makes it feel more dire. That's why, like, thinking, like, when Jungyoung Chiak, when he brings this up, it's just like, is this the only way? And then I'm thinking about it, like, if Dokja being sent to another world, something like Peaceland or something like that, what's to stop the constellations from getting to, I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, what's to stop them from trying to get Dokja there? I don't know. I feel like I don't know. Because we still would be bound by the fate, but we're just circumventing it. Like, I don't know. I'm all over the place. Back when we fought Nirvana, they said that his reincarnation is being affected by Junghyak's regression. So if he dies, Dokja will follow. Nirvana, the real question is, if he reincarnates, would he be in the same world or a different timeline? To go through that again with Nirvana's reincarnation, I feel like I had figured this out, but it's been a minute, so I forgot. When Nirvana would reincarnate, like, him reincarnating would allow him to remember Junghyak through his regressions? I don't remember. Because they knew each other. I don't know. I don't know. Also, even if Dokja succeeds. Or, so, hold on. If I'm understanding, if I'm having like a fake aha moment, is Nirvana exists and Nirvana reincarnates in the same span of time, and Junghyak regresses on top of that time. So it's like Nirvana as a guy meets Junghyak in round one. They have their conflict, whatever, they join sides, whatever, but they have their interaction. Nirvana dies, reincarnates, Junghyak regresses. Nirvana remembers Junghyak after his regression because he's come back. And it's just like, he's completely different now. But they meet again and he's like, oh, I know who you are. You're so-and-so. And Junghyak is probably like, how do you know that? And it's just like, we're probably two weird people going through weird time stuff at the same time. And we just keep meeting each other. I don't know. I feel like we had it before. I lost it. I don't remember. Many times hold on, let me scroll up. What about his 8 lives? I feel like this would cut through it. Just like how Fourth Wall chewed through Nirvana when Nirvana had the ability to reincarnate. Whatever's going to happen to Dokja with this probably would just cut through those 8 lives. Circumvent it. How many lives has he used already? 1. Right? He's used 1. 1 or 2. But he has like 7 or 6 lives left, right? Also, even if Dokja succeeds on having a soul battle and the Fourth Wall eats the Dream Eater, would that be bad for Dokja? Do we even want the Fourth Wall to keep eating in the first place? If the Fourth Wall was able to devour an otherworld god, that would throw the balance of everything off. Because it would be like an outerworld god. Granted, it's not the strongest one that they said, but it's still an otherworld god. And the fact that it's just gone now, that would probably throw a lot of things out of whack. That's scary to think about. Right? That's scary to think about. 2 so far, I think 1 time during Nirvana or 1 time during his mom. That's right, his mom did kill him. I forgot about that. So since he's gotten the 8 lives, he died the 1 time that everyone got sad, he came back, and then he died again. So he's died twice. Honestly, Dokja dies a lot. Death happened at the first Fire Dragon station, Zenjunga, first. Yep. What if Nirvana reincarnates into the same world? Because during his backstories, he seems to go through the same timeline. So if Jungyak regresses, Nirvana follows. Wouldn't that mean that the original timeline disappears because Nirvana follows? I don't know. Dokja did say during his fight with Nirvana that when it comes down to the soul, oh man, TWSA was always pretty lazy, and soul lazy and lousy. Okay. So we're dealing with a world with jank properties. We're dealing with a world with jank properties. I keep forgetting about that. Man. My brain's scattered. My brain is scattered from these 2 chapters. I'm all messed up. So the real answer is lazy writing. At the end of the day, the real answer is lazy writing, seemingly. He mentioned that things like probability don't really matter when it comes to soul. There's so much that could happen. I'm trying to not make my head hurt trying to think of all these things. I'm trying not to. So what would you think is the Deus Ex Machina? What would be the thing that I don't know? I don't know. What would be it right now? What would be it? I don't know. I don't know. I genuinely can't think. I don't know. One thing I'm sure is that Dokja is absolutely burning another life here. Can we talk about Jung? Yeah, he was going crazy. He legit was holding it back and doing damage. Was doing damage. I don't know. We're already pulling out all the stops. I'm trying to think what would happen. I have no idea. I don't have any idea. Yeah, I'm stumped. I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea what's coming. Not a single thing can pop in my brain. Even all the theories or whatever we talked about, not even any of that. I have legit no clue what the next chapter would be. What's gonna happen? Kind of wish sometime in the future we get to see Dokja versus Jungkook, because those two are OP in completely different ways. One of them would have to die if they fought. Ah, yes, the random characters we forgot about comes out of nowhere to save the day. Pildu. What are the No, everyone's passed out. Never mind. That would have been foolish. I was going to be like, what are the chances Yu Sung is able to use her abilities on the outer world god? That little girl's brain almost blew up from a dragon. It's not happening. So I was like, shut up. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. I remember I was asking that whenever we landed. It's just like, well, where's the dragon? I think if I'm just gonna saying something random, Dokja somewhere in this arc or whatever is going to be helped out by a version of himself that he may or may not recognize. That's what I think. I think some version of Dokja across the universe is going to lend him a helping hand. And Dokja may not know who it is. That's my guess. That's my guess. And I'm sticking to it. Mia Yu, who's like definitely clutch. If Jungkook is this powerful, think about what his sister could do. She has an endless gut. Just thought of another possibility. What if Secretive Plotter lends in hand here? Maybe. I feel like Secretive Plotter. So we don't know anything about Secretive Plotter. I would have thought that Secretive Plotter would have been one of the individuals to help out, but it was clearly the constellations from Korea that was helping Dokja out in the situation with the probability. But I think I feel like Secretive Plotter definitely has to come into play some way. Some way. Just let her eat the whole thing. Just eat away. Oh man. All right. I think that's all I got. He's being too damn secretive. Definitely not his modifier or anything. Oh man, I'm gonna get out of here. What time is it? 11:30? Yeah, I'm gonna get out. Makes his title too seriously. He's barely been showing up recently, too. Usually they pop in a lot. He hasn't been Secretive Plotter himself hasn't been popping in a lot. Hasn't been popping in too much. Not like before. So something's up. But I'm gonna call it. Thank you guys. I'm gonna edit this really quick so that this could go up tomorrow. There should be some more stuff coming out tomorrow's. I don't know about tomorrow. The stuff that was supposed to be coming out tomorrow, I might push to Thursday because I wasn't able to edit yesterday. So all the other constellations are here. It's probably low key. I think so. Yeah. So thank you guys. There should be some stuff. I don't know if I have anything pre-uploaded for tomorrow. Definitely Thursday and definitely Friday. There's stuff pre-uploaded. But be on the lookout. There should be the beginning after the end stream this Thursday. Should be 55 to 60 is what we'll be doing, and we'll be watching episode 9 of Windbreaker on stream as well on Thursday, because we caught up last Saturday. So we'll be watching that. We'll be caught up, and we'll be getting that going. So if you want to hang out, come hang out. If not, have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend coming up, and hopefully, God willing, I see you back here next Tuesday for 206. We'll be back here next week. We'll be back here next week. We'll make a decision if we skip a week some other time. But we'll be back here next week for 205, not 6, 205 of Omniscient Reader. So again, thank you. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you. Peace out.